What is up, you guys? Spider Love here, back with another video. This time we'll be taking a look at the Mary Jane Watson Spider-Man figure from way back 2002, starring Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker slash Spider-Man, and yours truly as Mary Jane Watson. So obviously this is a figure from way back, and it's from this figure where you can see how much the female action figure has evolved and developed over time. So she has a decent sculpt to her, not bad. And this is also hailing from a time when you can only have either a decent articulation or a decent sculpt, but not both. And you know, I'm glad Toy Biz chose to go with the latter. And by the way, I bought this in Shopsville for around triple than its original price of about 400 pesos, or around $7 to $8 in US currency. So for those hailing outside of the Philippines, Shopsville is a microcosm of Green Hills, where basically pop culture junkies gather for the single cause of action figure collecting and what have you. I could go on and on about how beautiful Green Hills is, but going back to the topic at hand, there's a base that comes with this figure, as you can see. But for me, I got it as a separate piece and without the box. So it was being sold to me back then with a base, when I was still eyeing for it. But when the time came that I actually bought it, the seller sold it to another customer separately. Anyway, as far as the Kirsten Dunst MJ figure goes, there's another from Spider-Man 3 that looks nowhere near as nowhere near as decent looking as this one, so sorry about that. Actually, that MJ Spider-Man 3 figure reminds me of the nun from Conjuring as far as it goes. But going back to this face, you can see the face printing technology was already pretty decent on this one. I mean, I have seen figures of late that fare far worse. Case in point, let's have a look at the Black Widow figure that doesn't look so much as ScarJo as compared to this MJ, which to me encapsulated Kirsten Dunst's very likeness. So you see, all of the angles are resemble that of Kirsten Dunst, so that's pretty impressive. Okay, so as far as the joints go, there's not much to expect. I mean, as I've mentioned, Toy Biz preferred sculpting over articulation on this one, and I'm not complaining. She can only look sideways, her arms can only rotate at a specific angle, and although she does have arm swivel on both arms. So as for the black scuff marks, she got that from this custom painted black suit Spider-Man, which is the same as this one, but that's for another video. So going back to her, she does also have a single jointed knee and waist swivel. Anything other than that is limited by her chipao. I don't know what it's actually called, but I remember this is a chipao, and this is a traditional Chinese dress. So I did my research and found out that this is pretty much a traditional Chinese dress. As for how it's pronounced, I'm still not so sure if it's a kipao or a chipao. But speaking of Chinese dresses, I don't think this is something that you can just put on a white female figure and expect it to fly in today's culture, considering how much they ripped on that Kazayadam girl for wearing one to her high school prom back in Utah. So for comparison, here is a stock image of an Asian girl wearing the chipao, and here is Kazayadam wearing the same dress in the exact same regard. So personally, as an Asian man, I don't see anything wrong about it. Unless, of course, Kazaya wore it in a mocking way, which she did not, then to me that's the only time she should be outed for cultural appropriation. I would even go on a limb and say that it's cultural appreciation more than anything. Because if we go on and condemn Kazaya for cultural appropriation, following that logic, it's like saying Asian people shouldn't wear Western clothing because it's appropriating a white man's dress, which to me is very absurd. So I think Kirsten Dunst wearing a qipao is very acknowledging of the Chinese culture. It wasn't problematic then, it shouldn't be right now. With that being said, before I end this video, let's go on ahead and do some size comparison. So just to scale her up, MJ right here stands at about 14.5 centimeters tall. Although I'm not so sure the camera can project the numbers, but you'll just have to take my word for it. So that's 14.5 centimeters tall, which converted is about 5.5 inches. So for comparison, here is MJ next to the Toy Biz Spider-Man figures from the movie Spider-Man 2. Here she is with Black Widow from Avengers Age of Ultron. Here she is next to a 7-inch figure. We have the DC Essentials Wonder Woman. And here she is next to Thor from Diamond Select, which is also a 7-inch figure in itself. If you guys are still here, I want to thank you for watching the whole video. So if you like my content, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future videos. This is Spider Love, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. God bless.